Have you ever really thought about what separates a charming old house from a reliable new one? I mean, it's more than just the style, right? Turns out, there was this single decade, a hidden revolution in home building that completely changed the game. So let's dig in and uncover this pivotal moment in how we build our homes.
It's the classic dilemma every home buyer faces, isn't it? You've got the character and charm of an old home on one hand and the promise of reliability from a new one on the other. It feels like a trade-off between nostalgia and practicality. But what if I told you the real difference goes way, way deeper than just the surface?
Yeah, we're not just talking about aesthetics here. We're talking about two completely different philosophies of engineering. Hiding in the walls of these homes is the story of how we learn to build smarter, safer, and just way more efficient houses. That story is written in the very bones of the building. Okay, so to really get what changed, we first have to look back. We need to understand the old way of thinking, the core assumptions that guided home building for, well, the better part of a century, right up until the early 1970s.
You see, builders back then operated on a few key beliefs. First, energy was dirt cheap, so why bother with insulation? It was a total afterthought. Second, the big focus was on heavy materials and skilled craftsmanship, not necessarily on how the house performed. And third, and this one is key, they assumed a house should breathe, which, is really just a charming way of saying it was intentionally leaky and drafty. The house was a collection of sturdy parts, not one integrated system.
So here's the bottom line. An older home might have this incredibly thick, solid lumber. I mean, truly overbuilt in its individual parts. But as a complete system for you to live in, it was seriously under-engineered. It was inefficient, had some major fire safety issues, and frankly, it didn't manage moisture well at all.
So what changed all that? Well, it wasn't some slow, gradual evolution. Nope, it was a massive shock to the system. A single global event that forced absolutely everyone, builders, architects, homeowners, to completely rethink the fundamental design of a house.
And that year was 1973. The oil embargo hit and energy prices just skyrocketed. All of a sudden, that quaint, breathing house became a financial black hole. Energy efficiency wasn't a luxury anymore. It became a necessity, literally overnight.
And this quote, man, it just nails the entire philosophical shift. We completely stopped thinking of a house as this passive shelter that just breathes along with the weather. Instead, we started seeing it as a tightly sealed, controlled environment, a system that we could actually manage for our own comfort and efficiency. This new philosophy directly led to the invention of what we now call the modern thermal envelope. This meant, okay, we're going to insulate walls and ceilings. We're going to hunt down and seal every little air leak. We're going to install vapor barriers to control moisture. And then, so we don't live in a stuffy box, we're going to add controlled ventilation to bring in fresh air without the drafts. This was literally the birth of the modern, high-performance home.
But this engineering revolution, it went way beyond just keeping the house warm. It changed everything, from the foundation all the way up to the roof, one system at a time.
Let's start with framing. Older homes often used what's called balloon framing, where wall studs ran uninterrupted from the foundation clean up to the roof. The huge problem with that is it created these hollow channels that acted like perfect chimneys in a fire, letting flames spread like crazy. The modern standard, platform framing, builds one floor at a time. Each floor is a platform, creating a natural fire stop at every level. It's a massive, yet mostly invisible, safety upgrade.
All right, let's head down to the basement. The whole philosophy here shifted too. Old foundations were just there to hold the house up. A damp, musty basement was pretty much normal. But post-1970s foundations were designed for environmental control. We're talking reinforced concrete, vapor barriers, and drainage systems all working together to keep water out. Moisture was no longer an accepted house guest, it was an invader to be repelled.
And what about plugging things in? The electrical system's got a major upgrade. An old home's 60-amp service just can't keep up with a modern kitchen, let alone the rest of the house. Homes built after the pivot have 150, even 200-amp service, with grounded outlets and dedicated circuits for all our big appliances. It's all about safely powering the demands of our modern lives.
And let's not forget the pipes. So many pre-1970s homes use galvanized steel. The problem is, it corrodes from the inside out. It's like arteries getting clogged over time. You get terrible water pressure and face incredibly expensive repairs down the line. The shift to durable copper and PVC plumbing was an absolute game changer for long-term reliability.
Okay, so after all that, you're probably wondering,
Is there a perfect time, a golden age for home construction? Well, the source material for this explainer points to a very specific sweet spot, a time that really did combine the best of the new engineering without some of the later drawbacks.
And that sweet spot is roughly 1975 to 1985. You see, homes from this decade strike this really unique balance. They have all the modern engineering we've been talking about, but they often predate the really aggressive cost-cutting and some of the iffy material choices that became more commonly later on.
So let's break down exactly why this era stands out. You get modern, fire-safe framing. You get robust electrical systems that can handle your life. You get durable copper and PVC plumbing. The whole house is engineered to control moisture. And, this is the kicker, you get all of this before builders started using some of the less durable, cost-saving materials of later decades. It's really the best of both worlds.
So there you have it, the great pivot. It wasn't just about a change in style or a new floor plan. It was the exact moment we crossed the line from building homes based on tradition to building them based on engineering. And it forever changed what we expect from our homes in terms of safety, comfort, and performance. So the next time you're looking at a house, you'll know the most important story isn't just the year it was built, but which side of this great pivot it falls on. It really comes down to one question. Are you choosing nostalgia, or are you choosing performance?